Hi, I'm Reina Ulibarri Griego with Family and Community Services and the La Madrugada Early Head Start under Office of Child Development. And I'm here today with Mariquita Baca and Debbie Martinez, who are from the La Madrugada Early Head Start program, Family Development Specialist today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the program that they have over at their agency. So good morning, Debbie and Mariquita.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on and talking about your program. So how long have you worked for your agency, Debbie?
I've worked for the Early Head Start program with the city for 14 years.
And Mariquita?
I've been with the city of Albuquerque total for 13 years.
So it sounds like you both have pretty long careers with the city of Albuquerque and specifically La Madrugada Early Head Start
Yes.
program. So I understand that you both are family development specialists. And Debbie, can you share a little bit about the Early Head Start program and
Sure.
how long it's been with the city and maybe a little bit of history about it?
Sure. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declared a war on poverty. And so that's where Head Start originally began, nationwide. With the city of Albuquerque's Early Head Start, it started in 1997. And it's been growing ever since. So.
Wow, that's really interesting. And some of the history information, I understand with home visiting specifically, was founded through the Head Start Act in 1973. So home visiting has been a part of Head Start for many years. Yeah. So you said the city has had this program in place since 1997, so it's been in place for a good while.
Yeah.
So what are the requirements to get into your program, Mariquita?
Well, we work with pregnant moms and up until their children turn 3 years old. And so the requirements is that you meet the federal income guidelines, and also that we do take families that are, like 10% over income, and we also take children with disabilities. So if you fall within any of those categories, we accept your application.
Okay, and we'll be sharing some of those requirements that we have on PowerPoint later so that families will know what the qualifications are income-wise. So Debbie, what exactly does a family development specialist do within your program?
Well, we meet with families on a weekly basis for about 90 minutes. And what we do is we give a lot of parenting education information. Our program is very self-sufficiency, strengths and needs oriented, so we always try to find out what the family's needs are, what their strengths are, and build upon those. We also do assessments on children between the ages of 4 months and 3 years old. And that gives the parents an idea of where their child's at, and we develop individual goals with those children so that parents can practice them and get that child to, say for example, learning how to crawl to crawling. So we tailor it to each individual age, so it's really nice. The parents get a real specific plan for their child.
So you're really focused on the child's development and really sounds like engaging that parent to work with their child and kind of know what to expect with the different stages in their development. That's really interesting. So Mariquita, sounds like it's very child-centered based. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Along with that, we understand that today's families are, they face lots of challenges and stressors. We offer support to the entire family. We do this by identifying their strengths and needs. From that, we assist them in setting some goals. And for example, maybe they want to finish high school or get their GED, they want to purchase a home, or they want to learn more about their child and how a child grows, how they behave, what are the reasons for behavior, is that normal, those types of things. And with that, what we're finding is that families who understand the development of their child understand why they're crying, why they're behaving a certain way. And that in itself reduces child abuse. And it's been proven that families who receive home-based services are, showing less child abuse, less stressors for the family, because they understand why a child is behaving or acting
Acting out the way they are.
Yes.
Yeah, so sounds like you've got a good wraparound component with that family
We do.
and really involving them, the whole family,
Right.
in what's going on with the child's development and good support services for them.
Oh, yes.
So what are some of the support type resources that, you mentioned a few, and I think you had shared with me earlier about a lot of community resources. So maybe, Debbie, can you share some of maybe the community
Sure.
resources that you're able to help connect families with?
Sure. Well, for example, if a family needs a city service, they of course call 311. But there's also the United Way. We do everything from referring to homeless shelters to helping the parent get enrolled for their college classes, doing the FAFSA with them. We have quite a few resources. WIC, income support for supportive services, mental health services. We can also refer families and walk them through that process. And of course, how to get through that whole health system with the new Centennial Care. So
Yeah, that can be really confusing for a lot of families with all the changes in the new Centennial Care system. So it sounds like they've got a good support person to kind of help navigate that with them. You also mentioned a little bit about children with disabilities. What kind of services can children with disabilities receive? With you talked about resources that might be available for those kids.
well, there are agencies here in town that work with the children, specifically who have special needs. And so if the child, for example, needs a speech and language pathologist, they will arrange for the child to have that service. We also walk them through that process too, from evaluation to actual services provided. Physical therapy, occupational therapy. What we do in our program is whatever goals that the agency, the special needs agency sets for that child, we provide activities and model for the parents to help that child at whatever level they're at.
So does a child need to come with you already with an established disability, or is that something that you would help the parent, any parent would have a concern about? Or
Often we have parents, when we do our assessments, and sometimes not then as well, sometimes they're generally concerned, I'm worried about how my son's doing. So of course refer them to a pediatrician, and depending on what the pediatrician says, we do have agencies here in town that do evaluations to determine if the child qualifies or if they have special needs. And if they don't, they also provide suggested activities so that the parent and the home visitor can work together to enhance that baby's growth, regardless of what stage or what level of disability the child has.
well, that's great that you all are able to do that with families and really engage everyone that's under that household and kind of make sure everything's playing out right. And you did mention something interesting, Mariquita, that I can see with getting all those supports in place that it would help a parent maybe not feel so frustrated, and that they are able to understand the development of their child and really be a good, effective parent. And this sounds like a really good program that you guys have in place over at Family and Community Services. So is there a number that a family could call, or how would they get more information?
Sure. We have two numbers, and they're with the city's Office of Child Development, and one number is 767-6500. That's our main office. And there's an individual who does some of the enrollments with the families, and her name's Monica Watrin. Her number is 256-2005.
And what would they need to bring to qualify?
Well, Monica will let them know usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. Well, I know that we have some slides that are going to go ahead and go up for our viewers to see, that will showcase the phone numbers that they can reach for more information, along with the income guidelines to see if you qualify for this really great program. And thank you, ladies. It's really important work that you're doing out there with our families and our kids. And, it makes a difference. I have myself read a lot of reports, as you were saying, Mariquita, that in-home services to families, while it's not a new concept, especially reading literature about what's going on in European countries, and hopefully that initiative will really gain momentum here in our country and open up more
Exactly.
programs for kids and families to benefit from. So thank you for being
you.
here and talking about your
You're
program
welcome.
again. And thank you for joining us today. And again, we'll have that information available for anyone that's interested to take more information to call about this wonderful program. Thank you.